Thanks for staying with us. Before we go into our hot topic, we're going to bring our next guest. So, over the weekend, in fact, there was a major flood outbreak in Lagos, which wreaked havoc on residents and swept away moving vehicles with other occupants. According to report, Lagos will experience more heavy rains till the end of August, and all residents and motorists should avoid wading through floods while it is raining to avert possible disaster.
God help us.
Joining us on the show now is a special advisor to the governor on drainages and water resources, Mr. Joe Igbokwe. Welcome to the show, sir.
Good morning, ladies.
Good to have you on the show. So, first of all, we understand that Lagos is a coastal line. So definitely across the world, these things happen, right? So we know floods would come. However, our worry is always preparation. Does the government do enough to prepare for these floods? And aside from clearing the drainages, there's also that point of sensitization of the people. What work has been done that could have prevented this in the first place?
No. Let me say that you cannot prevent a natural, phenomenon. We have 11 sinking cities in the world. One is in Jakarta, Indonesia, Venice in Italy, New Orleans in US, Lagos, number 4, Houston, Texas, number 5, Dhaka, Bangladesh, number 6, Virginia Beach, Virginia, I think it is in US, Bangkok, Thailand, Rotterdam, Netherlands, Alexandria, Egypt, and then Miami, Florida. These are flood, where you flood, prone areas that you cannot stop. Lagos is about 3,500 square kilometers, smallest. But you have almost 23 million people here, and they are still coming because of the crisis in other zones in Nigeria, southeast, north, central. Everybody is coming to Lagos. So there is this scarcity of space. When you're supposed to have 2 people, you have 15, 20 who have this. What happened yesterday is what we called flash flooding. If you have heavy downpour, you have up to 8-9 hours yesterday. So you have it, you have flooding. But within 2-3 hours, you won't see it again. I'm just coming from Okoba, Nagege now. This particular spot, that's where I went to today. You can't see anything there. This is the place now. I'm just coming from there now.
Wow.
So it's expected, and that's why we go. That canal, we're expanding it. There's civil works going on there now. We are trying to expand it to take more volume of water, flooding. So these are the issues. Where we are standing there, you can see encroachment. It's supposed to be 15 meters this side, 15 meters the other side, so that we'll be able to clean. You can see houses are very close to that place. Some of them 5 meters, some of them 2 meters, some of them on the edge of the canal.
So the question would be, why would government allow these buildings to be? Who issues these permits for the buildings?
Why did they not allow them completely?
Drainages and canals. Why would they allow the building to be on these canals and drainages for so long? These are not new houses. They've been there for a long time. Yeah. Why is government not putting an eye on it and making sure that these houses go down, even before they come up, that they don't even come up at all?
Very difficult, too. But sometimes you take hard decisions. But people will plead and plead and plead and plead. You wouldn't know how many times we have had them quit notice to leave the place. That place is not habitable. They will still be there. Like one man I saw this morning via this canal. If you see where the water was yesterday, the level of the house almost swallowed the house. That's the way they have been living for years. And there are also areas that you're not supposed to live. We are not supposed to build anything. Over here, Iwaya, Makuko, Badia, Ijora, Isalu, Mota, Shibri, Isheri North, Kara, there. Itowolo, Ajegule, Majide, Ogolote. They are not supposed to live there.
Yes.
But go there.
They are not supposed
Chase them away.
to live there.
Next, they will come back. And these are not solid houses. Some of them are bacha, small with zinc, they will. So, we are doing a lot. We are expanding this canal. There's construction work going on that Okoba, that Agege, Urulagege canal. We're trying to expand it. You can see their gravels there they're using to work. It's just that the cost of things went up, so we'll have to go back to the government to review and then move the something up.
So when you chase them away and they come back, and you keep chasing them away and they come back, what stops you from building the canal that's supposed to be there originally to stop them from coming to build their houses? So this
mean
yes, so
that's blocking the...
Yes.
Well, it will take a lot of money. They are talking about billions of dollars. You know, there's one that is up to 15 kilometers. You know, it's not something that you can just do. We claim our setbacks, and our people are not helping matters. Last week I was quarreling with one local government chairman. I cannot tell you, they were building something on the edge of the canal, very big canal. You know, and I said, look, what are you doing? He said, look at the other side. I have space the other side. There's a space the other, there's setback the other side. I said, this is canal you are building here. We went to remove those things. We mobilized the area boys to attack us. We now went back. The local government chairman went back and got reinforcement and came and removed the structures. So we face challenges every day. Some we call the governor, some we call everybody, party people, they will be calling. But you see, if we close our eyes to do what we ought to do, people will pay. People will cry. A lot of people will be on the streets.
Isn't that what government is supposed to do?
That's what government is supposed to do sometimes.
What I witnessed on Friday is something that I have not seen in a while. Considering that the Apapa Oroshoki Expressway is just recently constructed and was made higher, I didn't expect that level of flood. I started suffering flood from Yanetire Junction.
It's flash flooding. It will come. It's natural.
And all the 2
hours, it will vanish.
It will, but and all of us had to stay on the road. Then when you go into Festac, when you get to Isaleko, I think... in Amodofin, in Matu Estate, flood everywhere. I'm saying for a fact that for the past 1 week, most of the flats downstairs within the estate would have water in. There's an area there that I had never seen that level of flood. But I'm thinking there's a building that I am suspecting was recently done for a club. And that building, I'm thinking, this building wasn't existing before. I have passed through this place for the past 8 years going on. Why is it now that the building is there that there's flood? That's just my suspicion. That's not technical assessment of anything. Then you go into Festac to come out, water everywhere. At Link Bridge, down of my car, I just sat in my car and there was water. For you to know the level of water we're talking about. So in Ajegunle as well, they had to bring out boats. You know, in what's this area called? Around Ajegunle, they had to bring out boats. If you're talking about Agege now and there's a canal and they're having those issues, what happened in all other areas of Lagos?
I just started Agege as a typical example. Yes. You know, I'm just coming from there now. You see, these things will come as long as you're living in a coastal city. But then, our people need to help us. That place you're talking about may be blocked drains, you know. It's a consequence of refuse, pet bottles, and all kinds of things. And then there's one system we call System 6. It passes through Lagos University Teaching Hospital. If you clean it this weekend, if it rains, if you go back to that place, you won't believe that you've done something there. From Agege Motor Road, there's a canal there. It will just push all those things there. You will go back. We keep on removing because of our habits. Pet bottles in particular, plastics, and all kinds of things. People who should know better, people with full dose of Western education will they are going to work by early in the morning, 5 a.m., 6 a.m., they will load their vehicles with their refuse, and they just drop it into the canal. You see, our habit is terrible. So what I'm coming back, it may not be that building, it may be just waste inside the drains. Because water must find its way.
How did you prepare for the rain?
We do. Because of this, we have almost 1,000 called a flood abatement gang. You know, you will see them on yellow T-shirts, you know, walking. Their own is to distill. After the rainy season, when we are in the dry season, they go to distill all the drains all over Lagos. We call them a flood abatement gang.
Isn't it the reverse? So the rains are coming. As a department that is more aware of how the rains will come, is it not too better to distill?
No, they are doing it. It's a continuum. They are doing it. They don't wait. They are doing it. We call them and they will go to do the work. They know.
This is my own perspective. Is I understand what you said. I like how you started in the beginning, where there's an influx of people coming in every single day. So if you chase one person today, tomorrow it is whole thousands of people moving into that area every day, because many of the people moving to the States don't have addresses. Some of them live under the bridge. They find a shanty somewhere. So I understand that if you remove some people, people will come.
Just like Okoba Gege.
Yeah. So I would get that. But don't you think something more long term is for government to start building high-rise buildings, as we have the projects in all this land, where we have people, you actually have places for them to live. Because you see everybody, like 1,000 houses on the ground, same level, and having 100 people living there. Why don't we have high-rise, give commission developers, people out there, the private companies coming in, say, let us build these high-rises across the state, because we don't have space.
There's no land.
So you can save land and then have proper canals for these floods to pass through.
Oh, well, maybe we'll get to that. But, like Singapore, it's very small, country like the size of Lagos. Even Lagos is bigger than Singapore. They have high-rise buildings. And the man built and got people to even go and live there free. So these things will come.
Would you say
we'll get there.
Would you say in your job, your department, working with all the other MDAs, like the Ministry of Environment and
that's Ministry of Environment. Yeah.
Yes, is there a synergy in goals for you? Do you all have the same goal? Yours is to make sure that there are no floods. Yours is to make sure that there are habits and whatever government policies or execution is done in such a way that floods do not occur. The other parts of Ministry of Environment will have waste disposal and things like that. You're talking about people dropping their waste into the canals. Are you talking with those in charge of waste disposal, making sure that we have dumps where people can take them to, or making sure that people are coming to pick up their trash, in a way that it does not affect your job? Do you sit down together as a ministry to talk about how one job does not negatively affect or impact on the other person? And have ideas like the one you just mentioned should have been something that you would have discussed amongst yourself and to see how it can, be a reality.
Oh, we do. We do. This is Lagos now. We do meetings. The stakeholders. For us, there's one canal that we wanted to do in Aboru, one of the longest, most difficult terrain. We have to go and do stakeholder meetings 2 times, to get everybody. Before you go to dredge a canal, or before you go to do what we call alignment, concrete alignment, to align it to allow for easy flow, you have to have meetings with stakeholders, several meetings. Because some of them, if you tell those people to go and work, they will go and start disturbing, they start taking money from them, they will start causing problems, for them. And they may not even be able to do the work. They want to take part of the money the contractors are collecting. So a lot of meetings.
Let me go
every week you do 2 meetings. So
let me go and we're going to come back and continue this conversation. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We still have our guest with us. I'm told Oyin is waiting. Good morning, Oyin. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Go ahead.
Okay, I would like to ask the guest from the show, because he keeps saying things like, yes, we have done a lot, we've done a lot. I don't think this is not the first time it's really in Lagos. And I don't think we have to wait until we get this flood and then terrible before something is done. We have people that actually died. They are not terrified. We have children that were that way, they actually died. And that one is not even shown on our TV. Like, instead of them to just sit down there in their offices and say, we talk. If there's nobody in charge of looking at these houses when they are being built, is there nobody in charge of saying what they are using for these houses are not good? Is there nobody in charge of our roads? We have people working on those roads every day. People, those women working on the roads every day. They actually work. You guys sit down in your office and you say, we do this, we do that. This is the first rain that is happening in Lagos. Lagos is highly flooded every time. We check all of these places. And people are living it. Kind of thing we told them to go and they will go. Why did you provide for them to go?
Thank you very much,
People
Oyin.
just get to go because you're saying they should go. Who does that?
Thank you very much, Oyin. Thank you very much, Oyin. I'd like to link Oyin's concern to the ineffectiveness of the local government, because there's so much a state government can do, but you need partnership with the guys on the ground. So as you said, you spoke to a local government chairman. Why is he building on the certain canal? What is your government doing? Because I see there's always that clash between the technocrats and the politicians. You know, these are political class saying, okay, this is what these are people, and then the technocrats are trying to do their jobs. So there's that constant clash. So what is your government doing to ensure the local government chairman, those who are closer to me, are taking responsibility, taking ownership of the drains that you're clearing or the drains you're trying to build? When obviously they're not.
You know, normally you have primary drains, secondary drains, and then tertiary drains.
Okay.
The tertiary drains is the one in front of your houses, and it's supposed to be taken care of by the local governments.
Okay.
Some of them are not doing the job.
They don't come.
Some of them are not doing it. We go to do it. We go to from the ministry, yes. We go to do it. You know? So that one is...
Can you penalize them?
Exactly. Who are you holding responsible if you don't do it?
You see, actions carry consequences. We know what to do. But we have had series of stakeholders meeting. You know, they will be giving excuses and all that. We've gone further than that.
These stakeholders are sounding like evil spirits.
Well, we will deal with it. You know, that's why we set up FR gang. If they are not coming up, we'll go and do the work, because Lagosians are not asking you. They don't want to know what's internal issues that you are having. Yeah. We go out. That's why you have FR gang to go and do all those things. Some of them are doing, not all. Some of them are working. But Lagos is a place. I'm coming, man. Lagos is a place where if you clean up a place today, in the next few days, you still see things inside the drains. Because if they do their work and clean up the tertiary drains, you won't find anything inside the secondary drains and the.
You say no jobs, no jobs. These boys are on the streets. They can actually do the jobs to actually. Who's going to be paid?
We recruited them. We have up to 1,000. About 200. So 250 dropped.
So how often do they clean the drains? Is this something that they need to do every day, if need be, especially during the rainy season?
It can't be every day. Sometimes you do it. We prepare for the rains.
Yeah, but you just said now that in a week, if they clean it this week, by the next week, it looks like they have it. So
especially during rainy seasons. So you continue. Our habits are very bad. I'm coming. In Apapa, there's one drain. These Okada riders have converted that drain into a public toilet. You go there, you see it in Apapa, in the heart of Apapa. The habit is difficult to change. I believe that.
Lekon is holding, Nima. I want you to ask the question. Let me take Lekon. Lekon is holding. Good morning, Lekon. Are you there?
Good morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
All right, I'm calling out the room from YouTube. All right, I really appreciate your guest over there. As regards to Lagos, we all know that Lagos is a coastal area, and we all know the season of rain comes. I appreciate the former governor of Lagos State, the person of Fashola. This man has a foresight. He knows when there's going to be rain. He sent people to drain all those places that are known for crossroad areas. I believe we have a consistent when it comes to governance in Lagos State. This should be followed. We shouldn't wait until when the rain comes before we go for a solution. Let there be something to be done before. Let's say forecast. There'll be rain that will be much after this time. Let us deploy people to go and clear all those drainages to avoid all these every year. I believe Lagos can do more than that.
All right. Thank you so much. Nima, let me let you jump in.
Okay, so like I said, I was born here, I lived here, I know Lagos well. When I was born in Western Avenue, there's a canal just behind the stadium that used to pick children from my primary school, and by the time they find them in Baja, they're dead. So we're looking at Lagos now, and I'm living in Lagos still, where I have to do my drains. I have to come and sit on the show and beg Loma to pick the waste because they will dump them in the drains if somebody doesn't collect them. And I know they don't collect them. So my colleague asked earlier that, is there a synergy between yourself and the other ministries? And how well do you work? Because if we don't have a structure that works all year round the clock on this in Lagos, we're not, that means we're not living in the reality that it is a coastal city. Somebody just called now and mentioned that this worked. I saw it, not because I know BRF. I saw it when I was in Lasso. They were constructing the Lasso Isheri Road, and they built on a canal that I used to cross to go to command as a secondary school. They built a small gutter there. He rejected that road. The talk around was that he wasn't commissioned. And truly, that road, that canal divided the road. And eventually they had to build a proper canal. To be aware is to know how to run the state. How did they prepare for rains this year? Because what I saw this year showed there was no preparation.
There is. You
mentioned here now that the boys in Apapa, the flood in Apapa this last week, we don't even want to go there. The boys built a toilet on it. How do you allow?
No, it's not that they built a toilet. They converted the canal, into
there's a local government chairman doing that.
To make sure that they don't misuse.
It's just like this canal. Somebody will just enter this place and just do.
So what are your LCDAs? What are they there for? The local government, what are they there for?
Who is policing the canal? Who is policing that somebody doesn't come in the morning and dump something? They used to pick people up and they were fines for it.
They pick them up and they find them. He said, we have been jailing people for stealing. People are still stealing to date. People are still stealing. Somebody who is going to do something. Those Okada riders in Apapa don't have, they sleep on top of the Okadas. So that drain is their toilet. Pick them today. Tomorrow another group will come.
So
as we are talking to you now, they are coming. They are coming, with trailers. They are trooping into Lagos. In the certain areas, you see, so Lagos is hosting a lot.
So when we see government officials complaining, even we are like, who are we now?
I'm just telling you, it's not that we are giving up. It's not that we're giving up. We're not giving up. He said we don't prepare. We prepare for the rains.
So
we clean up. We clean up.
Okay, so
the drain. Dredging, if you know the amount of money government used to, because you have to get one boogie to enter into the canal to bring those things out, then you need, sometimes you cut about 500 trucks of those refuse. You take them away. In the next 1 week, if it rains, if you go there, you lose as if you have not done anything.
You do it again.
We continue to do it. We're not complaining. We're not complaining. Like this Agege I went to, where we had this infraction yesterday. We are walking there. We're expanding the canal. You will see I have the look at it now.
When did
they are doing some work there. It's a recent work. It's just that they stopped because we have to review the contract.
Let's take a few messages because I know that so many people.
Let me even ask him, what will it take the stakeholders to understand the vision of Lagos? Because it seems like when you're trying to go this direction and they have a lot of people that are calling them to plead, please leave this house, leave this one, you're sabotaging the work of government. What will it take them to understand? What will it take you to insist that this is the way Lagos has to go now, so that we don't have all of this every year, losing lives, losing properties because of flood?
I tell you a story. We, had decisions. Let me use Singapore as an example. It was a shanty before. The man had to take those people. They were fighting, they were calling the man names. He had to take them away from those shanties, demolish all of them, and then build skyscrapers,
So what will it take
and then
to do this?
Gave them those houses. Some of them were too timid to even go to live in those high-rise buildings. So we don't have the kind of, whatever you have, there's too much pressure in Lagos. If you are working for 10,000 people today, tomorrow you have 30,000 people. Everybody's coming here. Everybody is fighting for space here, space. And to get them to go is even a problem. Like I know now, we have crisis in the southeast. Most of our people are here. Most of our big men are here.
We have to wrap.
So that will put pressure on whatever you have. This is the only thriving city. Okay, the only place where things are working. The only place you can come and make money. If you put Okada here, you make money. When they first chased them out of Lagos, they went to Ogun State. They were making 500 naira, 600 naira a day. Here they are making 9,000, 10,000. They were lamenting.
Okay, we have to wrap up, sir.
But they left. And they're going to leave.
I have to wrap up on this because I need to move to a hot topic. But I just need you to tell Lagosians
what we need to do.
The message on this, especially because I know that you said that the rains are still going to come to the end of August. So what should we expect and how should we prepare for it?
Okay, please know that I'm talking to Lagosians now. We empathize with them for what happened yesterday, 9-hour rainfall. And that's what you have when you live in a coastal city like Lagos. And help us to help you by not dumping anything inside the drains. Stop You know, something is also a problem. Stop building on drainage. Look, there's a place called Bucknor. We have been on it. We have taken our alignment to do. People, it's in my house, so you have to take it away from to this side. We have been on it. But we have to carry the big stick and do the work. We won't be everywhere. We got to a house in one place, Najegule, 2-story building, standing like this. The canal behind it is where they dump their refuse. The day we went there, they went inside their rooms and locked their doors. They didn't come out. For us, even talk to them to tell them what to do. So we will continue to appeal to Lagosians to show some concern. But where you don't, we'll carry the big stick.
All right.
Some houses will go down. Some houses will go down, and people will weep.
From what you said, I have to wrap up, sir, but thank you very much, sir. Obviously, from what you said, government is doing their own bit. We, the people, also have to take ownership. And the local government, I'll continue to harp on those guys. I see they don't do anything. They're the third arm of government, so I know that they also have some kind of authority, but somebody needs to penalize them for what they're not, for their inactions. But let us go on a break. That's all we can take on this segment. Thank you. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.